Hey, what's up, Reefers? This is Reefer Matt. Today I thought I'd share my top 5 favorite coral with you. Sorry the video's a little late, I've been real busy lately, but I wanted to share this video with you regardless. And starting off with number 5 is elegance coral. I like elegance coral because they're a nice, big, showy coral. It's a big, fleshy coral, as you can see. It's actually one polyp with a lot of mouths on it. And as you can see, it's got a lot of tentacles. Those tentacles do sting similar to anemones. That's why this clownfish likes it so much. And they like higher nutrients, usually nitrates. I keep this tank around 25 to 30, and the phosphates around 0.08 or so. And they like moderate flow and moderate lighting. But I really like these coral. They come in a variety of different colors. This is sort of the traditional color here. And I got this one as a little frag from my LFS from Aquarium, and it's really growing out pretty good. So there's an elegance coral for number 5. And number 4 is Pectinia. This is a Space Invader Pectinia. I got this from my buddy Jay a couple years ago. This is actually one of the frags. I had a big colony of it. These coral are also LPS coral, and it's sort of similar care requirements to elegance coral. It's just a big, fleshy polyp coral with a lot of different mouths on it. It likes moderate flow and moderate lighting as well. This coral will eat finer foods from time to time. You'll see tentacles come out. The reason why this is called a Space Invader, you can't see them right now, but this coral does tend to get long tentacles, and it'll sting coral around it. So you don't want to put it next to your favorite coral because it will sting it. But I like this coral because it's nice and colorful, and it's a nice big showy coral also. And as you can see, my clownfish here likes it as well. So that's number 4, Pectinia coral. And number 3 is the old classification of Filia. They're called Fimbria filia now. And that's your torches and frog spawns and hammers. And I'll even throw torches in there even though those are Euphilia. I like those because they're also big and showy and fleshy. But I like the branching kind because you can frag them and they kind of got a unique growth pattern. They're easier to care for rather than the wall varieties who just grow like one big coral. Here's a hammer here on the left, and that's a frog spawn on the right. And I also have, I believe this is a frammer over here, which is a combination of the two. It's a frog spawn and a hammer. So these 3 are Fimbria filia now. And they like moderate flow, moderate lighting. Not feeding so much. They will eat powdered food like reefroids and stuff, but they're not really a big eaters. But they can get really colorful. They come in a lot of different colors, and they're real nice coral to have. They're also beginner friendly. So there's Fimbria filia for number 3. All right, so my number 2 and number 1 are sort of tied, but I'm going to put them in order anyway, and it's really tough to do so. But I'm going to say number 2 is Zoas and Pallies. They're sort of the same. Pallies are a different species, of course, but they sort of look the same. That's these guys here. Basically, you can call them button corals. And these guys like higher nutrients. They're not too picky. They're beginner coral. They come in a lot of colors, as you can see. And that's why I collect them. I like them all. Get a zoom in there for you. So their care requirements, they like, they can tolerate a lot of different kinds of flow, really. They can tolerate lower to moderate flow. That's what I keep them in here. Some people have success with higher flow. You just got to play around with it. Lighting, it just depends. I have them in lower lighting in this tank, actually. The par in here is only around 80. But people do have success in different pars. So you just try it out and see what they like for you. But that's number 2, and that's Zoas. All right, well, since Zoas was number 2, I guess number 1 will have to be Acora. As you can see here, this is my Walt Disney tenuous colony, and it's grown out quite a bit over the years. I've had this coral for about 3.5 years now. And Acropora are a little more of an advanced coral. There are some beginner coral though, like this one over here. This is my oldest Acropora. This is the green slimer Acropora. And these guys are great if you've already had a tank and you know what you're doing and you can grow softy and LPS corals no problem. This is the Acropora that you want to start with. Then after you get comfortable with SPS, then a tenuous like this Walt Disney might be right for you. These guys like higher light and higher flow. Right now, the par around this colony here is around 280. I don't have a lot of par in this tank, but that's what they require, at least around 200, I'd say, is a minimum. I used to have a colony back here. You can see behind this frag here that I put there. I used to have a nice big Meliopora colony back there, but for some reason it ain't doing so well, and I had to frag it down to little frags. Hopefully I get it back. But Acropora, I'd say I like them because they come in a variety of colors as well, but there's just so many different types, it seems, that they all have their little personalities and they all present their own little challenge just to keep them happy. I mean, one minute they look great like this, and the next minute, I mean, it's almost like they're just gone. Like they just start, turning white and something happens and you got to act quick sometimes. So Acropora to me are a great challenge, and you just don't want to get too comfortable, keeping them. Just do what you got to do. Keep up on your parameters and your water changes and such, but they're not impossible, especially this guy here, this green slimer Acropora. And then I'll show you my frag collection that I'm working on too. So here's my frag collection of my Acropora that I'm collecting and I'm growing out. As you can see here, I had an issue with one. It started to STN on me, so I had to cut the top off, but luckily the rest of it stayed, so it'll grow back. And the same thing happened over here. I had just a little tip survive of it, but luckily that little bit did, and the whole thing didn't go away. So that's just what happens with Acropora sometimes. It's hit or miss, but a lot of these are looking great. I'm very happy with these. You can see they come in a variety of colors, different growth patterns. They all have sort of, like I said, they got their own little different personalities almost. So that's why I like Acropora. It's just, it keeps me on my toes basically. And that's number one, that's Acropora coral. And as you can see here, I finally trimmed this Montipora here. So I'm gonna let that do its thing. I'm trying to get it all away from the glass, and then I'll get rid of the rest of this sand here too. So that way I can try out a magnetic scraper. So I have black sand in here. So thanks for watching this video. That's my top 5 favorite coral. I'm Reefer Matt. Thank you for watching, and happy reefing.